What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Roll the 900 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. And yesterday, they just played their first fully healthy game in months, and they really looked like a team that could potentially win the NBA championship, in which I feel like having the trio in Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and of course Joel Embiid, they should obviously be automatic title contenders. And I feel like obviously injuries have portrayed that, but when they were healthy and when they were available, they have been one of the best lineups in the league. Yes, the sample size is small, but when you have Paul George, when you have obviously Tyrese Maxey, even VJ Edgecombe as a rookie, he had some tough shots in Charlotte yesterday, in which we possibly got to see what this 76ers team can be made of when all three are playing their best basketball, or even four when VJ Edgecombe is even putting up tough shots. Obviously, he's not going to get the looks that he was getting before everybody was healthy, because it did look like VJ Edgecombe was playing some great basketball, looking like the early version of this season himself. But when you look at the 76ers being the 7th seed, and obviously everybody is still in the hunt for a 5 through 10, nobody can really lose games with it being so really close, and the 76ers being 41-33, one game behind Atlanta Hawks, in which if they move up to the 6th seed, they play the Knicks. If they move up or they stay where they're at in the 7th seed, they play the Boston Celtics. If they get pushed back to 8th, they play the Detroit Pistons. And even if they're knocked off the playoffs, even though I don't think that will be the case, because what I watched yesterday with them playing a great Charlotte Hornets team and them just playing their roles, basically. Paul George being this smooth scorer whenever you need a bucket, just giving it to him. He took the lead late in, obviously, in the fourth quarter. Tyrese Maxey, like, we didn't see Tyrese Maxey in like 4 weeks. He came back early and he obviously put on a show. Like, second quarter, he took over. He had some tough buckets in the third quarter. He even had a poster yesterday on Miles Bridges, which I was like, okay. And it was the same dunk he had on Anthony Edwards. And then Joel Embiid, Joel Embiid is one of the most interesting players, I feel like, because I feel like at any moment he can go get a bucket, right? But you can't undermine his foul baiting ability too. Like, when we talk about foul baiters, we usually talk about Luka, Shea, Brunson, and Trey, but Embiid is up there too, because when you look at a 7'1", almost 300-pound guy falling on the floor almost every possession, and obviously his free throw rate is high as shit. So when you look at that, and sometimes Embiid is naturally fouled. Obviously, you're that big, you're going to get fouled. But at the same time, the way he just is a foul magnet, is kind of crazy what I watched yesterday. And that's me not trying to sound like a Charlotte Hornets fan, as I am. But when you look at the 76ers, what do we see standing in their way? Because I do think this team is built to contend, and this would probably be, or anybody in the East, I would say, best chance to win, or I feel like it's the most open conference, because I'm not too sold on the Pistons like everybody else is. I'm not too sold on the Celtics. I'm not too sold on the Knicks. I'm not too sold on the Cavs. So when you look at, honestly, this playoff run in the East, it could get interesting, because I feel like any team that makes the top 8 team, excluding the Raptors, because I'm not gonna lie, I can't see it with the Raptors, but any of those teams can make potentially a big run in this postseason. That's why I'm not too drawn on saying there's an East favorite. Obviously, in the West, we're drawn to saying the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs, but as justified because of how great those teams looked. But at the same time, at the Eastern Conference, we don't know when Cade Cunningham's coming back. In the Celtics, we don't know what version of Jason Tatum we're going to get when it comes playoff time. He is struggling with his efficiency right now, and maybe in a week's time, when possibly the NBA season is going to be over and I have to make a series versus each other, maybe we'll have that figured out, and we'll know what is going to happen with Jason Tatum, because honestly, it just hasn't been. I already made a video talking about how Jason Tatum's struggling, so I'm just not going to talk about that again. That's a different topic for a different day. But the 76ers, I don't see any reason why they can't beat one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And I can't even say I felt like they were a top top team before Maxey got hurt. They were a top team before Embiid got hurt. And obviously Paul George coming back from his suspension is huge for them. Which I know Paul George was struggling, last year, right? And when you look at Paul George as a player, that's just not how he looked last year. Like I'm pretty sure I made a video last year talking about, is it over for Paul George? And this season he's completely bounced back. He's playing his role phenomenally. Like he knows he's the third option, but at the same time he's still getting his buckets when they need to happen. And it was not like that last year. And last year I do know that he was hurt in preseason. He literally hyperextended his knee, and I'm like, oh nah, fuck. And that sucks, because I feel like Paul George is probably one of the most underrated, at the same time overrated players in the league. But that's a different topic. But in his first 2 games back, he had 28 points against the Bulls, and then against Charlotte yesterday, he had 26 points and 13 rebounds and a clutch shot. So when you look at Paul George, you look at Joel Embiid, and you look at Tyrese Maxey, like I said in the beginning of this video, like I just don't see a reason why you count them out. And this could potentially be Joel Embiid's first conference finals appearance, which would be great, because after everything that Joel Embiid has gone through in his career, and we're looking at, honestly, Tyrese Maxey obviously developing into this great player in which sometimes he was the number 1 option, and when they have a mismatch, you could potentially exploit that, whether it's Joel Embiid or whether it's Tyrese Maxey. I feel like they do right now have a 1A, 1B type of situation, but this team doesn't run without Joel Embiid, and I hope y'all know that, because when Joel Embiid was out, that's when they started losing games, in which you need a healthy Joel Embiid. I don't give a fuck if he's on one leg. Joel Embiid is going to produce, and I feel like people were shocked by that, even though I told y'all back in December when he went on his run of probably like 20 straight games of 30, and he's still doing that. That's why I thought he should have been an all-star this year. He wasn't, but it just sucks to see. But when you look at the 76ers and you look at the team that they have, they should probably be a team to look out for, because not a lot of people are on the 76ers wave right now. And I'm potentially telling y'all to probably just watch the games, bro. Like, they have an important game against the Heat tomorrow, and if they win that, they possibly are in great positioning to possibly move up to the 6th seed and pass the Atlanta Hawks, or go to the 5th seed and potentially pass the Toronto Raptors. So I'm interested to see what team that the 76ers play, or even if they get into the playoffs, let's say that they won't be an easy out by any means, and they would not be the underdogs. I feel like when we know we have favorites and underdogs and obviously playoff matchups, but at the same time, I don't think they would be a huge underdog, if you want me to be honest with you. And if the top teams right now, I got to be honest with you, I do have the 76ers beating the Knicks right now, and that's not even no disrespect to the New York Knicks by any means, but that's another topic for another day too, me talking about the Knicks. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about the 76ers down below. Do y'all think they're a title contending team? And let me know how y'all feel about their big three, and including their rookie too, because I'm not just gonna ignore VJ Edgecombe at all. I even made a video about that. But y'all let me know down below. Subscribe. What's good, y'all? If y'all made it to the end of the video, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And there's a video right here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it if you like this one, and the channel icon's right there if you want to just check out the channel in general. And yeah, leave a like too, because it really helps the algorithm push me out. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this video nonetheless.